Hearty welcome to all of you. As we have got a couple of minutes more, let others join. We can make use of this time of 3-4 minutes for self-introduction because it is our first class. I guess like we are meeting for the first time.
Yes, sir.
So I would request you to be very, very brief, maybe 20 seconds, less than half minute. Just tell your full name and the place you belong to, which town you are from, and the degree, discipline, whether you are from commerce, science, engineering, and from which college you have passed. Okay, so we'll be starting self-introduction now, and as we are going for self-introduction, others can join. Can I start from Shakti, please? Be brief.
Yes, sir.
20-30 seconds.
So my name is Shakti Saurav Sahu. I'm basically from Bhubaneswar, and I passed my BTech in Mechanical Engineering in the year of 2018 from Institute of Technical Education and Research.
So last year you passed. You worked for some company?
Yes, sir. I was working at a steel production unit, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Welcome to MBA program of KIT.
Thank you, sir.
Next, Asutosh. Asutosh Das.
Good morning, sir. So
Yeah,
my name is Asutosh Das, and I am from Angul. I completed my graduation. In Pala Maharaja Engineering College, which specialized in chemical engineering, and I placed at McLeod. But to pursue MBA, I left the company, and
thank you. Welcome. Next, Tarini Mahapatra.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Tarini Prasanna Mahapatra, and I belong to Chaudhar town, nearby to Cuttack. And I have completed my graduation and post-graduation from Ravincha University with physics as my subject, and was teaching some of the students over here. And then I pursuing MBA at KSM.
Wow, thank you. Trupti Tripathi, you are there?
Yes, sir. So I'm Tripti Tripathi. I have done my engineering from Rungta College of Engineering and Technology. I have done
Which
my
year?
school.
Which year?
2019.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And
You were working anywhere?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Next, Anvesha. Next to Anvesha, Alisha. Anvesha Mahanti.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, please introduce.
My name is Anvesha Mohanty. I have done my schooling from SCB Medical Public School, Cuttack, and I have done my 12th from Kendra Vidyalaya, and I have pursued BBA from Ravincha University. My final year exams are still yet to be held. So
must be difficult time preparing for BBA final and MBA classes.
yes, sir.
But I guess like our teaching will be of indirectly of some help so that you do well in BBA exam. Next, Alisha Abilipsa. Next to Alisha, Nishita Sarangi, get ready. Alisha.
Good morning, sir. Sir, my name is Alisha Abilipsha. I belong to Bhubaneswar, and I completed my degree in BTech from Gita in computer science.
Thank you. Which year you completed?
Sir, 2019.
Okay. Nishita, next.
Sir, I'm Nishita Sarangi from Bhubaneswar. I have completed my BTech graduation in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from ITR Bhubaneswar. For 2 years, I have worked as a marketing executive for Hind Rectifiers Limited, Bombay.
Thank you. Samrita Prusti. Next will be Asutosh. Next, Pratishtha. Samrita.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Samrita Priyadarshini Prusti. I have done my graduation. I haven't yet completed my 6th semester because it is still held. Still going to be, I don't know whether it's going to be held or not, from Sai International College of Commerce. I have completed my 12th from ODM Public School and 10th from DPS Kalinga. I belong to Bhubaneswar. And yeah, right now I'm pursuing MBA in KSM.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ashutosh Das, have you introduced yourself? Ashutosh Das? Ashutosh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I introduced myself.
Yeah, sorry. Pratishtha Dubey. Next, Rohit Rao. Pratishtha first.
Good morning, sir. I'm Pratishtha Dubey from Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, and I am pursuing my BBA from United Institute of Management, and exams are still to be held. So,
Wish you all the best for exam, and hope you enjoy MBA program here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, next.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Rohit Rao. I belong from Cuttack, and I haven't yet completed my graduation. Like the final exam is still yet to held from Sai International College of Commerce from Bhubaneswar, and I have completed my 10th and 12th from Baleswar, and yeah.
So wish you all the best for your final exam, and hope you enjoy our MBA program also.
Yes,
Next, Paulomi Rai. Next, Paulomi Chaitanya. Then Chinmaya. Yeah. Paulomi.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Paulmi Roy. I am from Kolkata. I have completed my BTech in the field of electronics and communication engineering from Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata in the 2020.
Thank you. Chinmaya. Unmute, Chinmaya. Unmute yourself.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, my name is Chinmay Behera. I am from Bhubaneswar. I have completed my BTech in Mechanical Engineering from Trident Academy of Technology, 2019 pass out, sir.
Okay. Were you doing any job?
Yes, sir. I worked for a year in L&T.
Okay. L&T, which place?
L&T Kansbahal, Rourkela.
Okay. Next, can I ask Anesa, then Shubham Parida, then Priyanka in that order. Anesa Dixit, Shubham Parida, and Priyanka.
Hello, sir. My name is Alisha Dixit. I am from Bhubaneswar. I have pursued BBA from KSOM.
So welcome back once again.
Thank you, sir.
Shubham. Next, Priyanka.
Good morning, sir. I am Shubham Parida. I am from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. I have completed my BBA in marketing specialization from KSOM, Bhubaneswar, and I am pursuing MBA.
Welcome back again. Welcome back again.
Thank
So
you, sir.
maybe like next class we'll again have the introduction, because we have to save time for the classroom discussion. I'll be only taking 3 of you: Priyanka, Anurag Rath, and Manisha. 3, and rest. So sorry, we'll be taking introduction in next class. Only 3 today, and because you'll be having a lot of discussion today, so we'll not waste time today. Priyanka, Anurag, Manisha.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. Swagat.
Good morning, sir. I'm Priyanka Pradhan, and I am from Rourkela. I have completed my BTech degree from Government College of Engineering, Keonjhar, in the year 2019.
19. Were you working somewhere? No.
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Next, Anurag. Next, Manisha.
Good morning, sir. My name is Anurag Dutt. I'm from Odisha, Bhubaneswar. I have completed my BTech in Mechanical Engineering from KIT University last year, and I have 1 year work experience in PSDPL, Kalinganagar.
Welcome back again to KIT campus. Hope you'll enjoy. And Anurag, hope you might be knowing, or you should know, there is a lot of difference, particularly the seriousness of BTech program and MBA program. You might have heard on this. We are a bit more serious in this campus. Hope you will be doing well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Next, and perhaps the last for today.
Good morning, sir. My name is Manisha, and I'm from Cuttack, Odisha. And I have completed my schooling from Delhi Public School, Kalinga, and I have pursued my BBA from KIT School of Management. Thank you.
Welcome back again to KIT again.
Thank you, sir.
So today we'll have discussion. This is our first session. We'll be trying to understand why this paper and how statistics can be of help for decision making. So for this, I need some of you as my representative for today's class. Can I trouble Manisha, Subhasis Das, Anirban, and Vedant? Manisha, Subhasis, Vedant, and Anirban. So you keep your video on. Rest, you may switch off video, but please listen to me because we have got a lot of assignment. But my representatives whom I have selected for today's class, every class I'll be selecting new representatives. Now I am requesting you, you have to help me out if I am audible, if anything difficult, if I'm going faster, and in case of any question, query, feel free, you can stop me. You are my boss for today, and you can stop me, ask me anytime, any number of time. And if you understand, then I will understand that the entire class has understood my presentation. Okay, so that is the purpose, your role and responsibility for today's class. You will be with me. So keep your video on, 4 of you, and for the timing you can mute, but whenever you feel like asking me, you unmute and ask me questions. Now, is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is the full screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just I wanted to check.
Yes, sir.
So as you can see from the title of this slide, which I had perhaps circulated, is to understand how statistics can be of use and how statistics we have to use every now and then for every work, every business, particularly for decision making. And I'll be trying to suggest maybe we have to live with statistics. I'll give sufficient examples how statistics is part of our life. So when we'll be appreciating that yes, we must have to live with statistics a little bit, then we need to love statistics. This is what today's presentation essence is. I would start presentation with a formal hearty welcome to one and all. I believe that all of you are listening to me, and in between, not only the representatives for today, others can also stop me, ask me if anything you want to ask me regarding the presentation. Before I start presentation, I have got a submission. Particularly me and most of my colleagues here in KSOM actually respect students because we love students and we also learn from students. To tell that, I will start giving one photo here. Hope you can make out where I am. You can locate me. And with me, there is my young colleague, Professor Asutosh, who is, I am Ahmedabad graduate. And as you can see, this is the same auditorium where 3 days back we had inaugurated your MBA program. And this is one event 2-3 years back, which was conducted by the students for students and teachers. And we also participated, enjoyed, and just to show that we, the teachers, learn from each other. And I'll also be happy to learn from you in my class also. Now coming to the formal presentation for today, we'll be trying to understand through different current examples how statistics is of great help for decision making and how we actually live with statistics, and that's why we perhaps need to love statistics. Statistics is used everywhere, every now and then, for our decision making whenever we have a requirement need to decide something. I'll give you an example. Let's start with your own decision of choosing this college, this program for your college admission. When you or your parents took a decision of selecting MBA program at KSM, most of you, at least many of you, must have debated why this program and why this program from KSM. So what I'm just suggesting, when we are deciding some selection of a school, perhaps we are referring directly, indirectly to the ratings, the perception, and peer feedback. So that helps us in deciding which college, which program is perhaps better for us. Once we get admission, even for college administration, lot of statistics happen. Your attendance, your marks, everything maintained by program office of school, and even allocation of sections, as we have done, is also used by using Excel application, by using some statistics. So I can give so many examples where in college administration, we also need little bit of statistics. I can give many examples, but what comes to my mind is, which is very relevant current today, as we are resorting to online classes, as many of us are working from home. Every family is now consuming high data, and data pack selection is a current example. Which data pack is better? Which internet service provider, or in short ISP, is perhaps better for our family? So when you take decision, you compare all the information related to that. So what I'm just trying to suggest, even day-to-day life, or even games, particularly cricket, or even our offices for managerial decision, we perhaps need data always. Now let's try to understand how we get information from data. When I'm just telling information from data, perhaps I'm indirectly trying to suggest they are not same, and we have to extract information from data. By data, we understand some raw data, and how do we get information? In the next slides to come, we'll have a lot of examples so that we'll differentiate between data versus information. Now, by definition, data is nothing but some facts, figures about something. And coming to the classification or types of data, from one angle, it could be quantitative data or qualitative data. We'll be giving a lot of examples of quantitative, qualitative in the slides to come. It's very clear. And I would request those who are listening to me, please take or keep your pen and paper ready. And some of the terms which you feel...
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, someone is waiting in the waiting room. Can you please add him?
Okay.
Akash Jaiswal. His name is Akash Jaiswal.
Great. Thank you so much. It's a great help. You really helped me. Thank you so much. You also remind me kind of thing. Yeah. So I'll be giving you example of quantitative and qualitative example later. Now, next is from another angle. Data could be primary data or secondary data. Maybe like many of you know the distinction. Primary data is one which is collected for the first time by ourselves, and secondary are already published and we are putting those published sources. That is called secondary data. Also, I'll give example later. If I'm not able to give and if I'm forgetting, my representative for today should remind me so that I can give examples what we mean by collected data, reported data, and generated data. Sometimes we collect it for ourselves, that is called collected data, or there is a system at place where we get reported data or the data automatically reported to us. And sometimes something new data, it is generated. So there will be different types of data like this. Then once we get data, whether quantitative, qualitative, or any other form, so that will be our next job is how to get information out of this. And we analyze data for information for our new knowledge. Now, as I told you, we have to clarify the distinction between data versus information. I'll be giving some example in a lighter vein. Don't be serious if I give some qualitative data here. Now, on the day of inauguration, a data sheet like this was given to me. Can anybody just make out what this data is all about?
So the list
Mentor
of
mentee list.
students alphabetically has been arranged with the details.
It's not mentor mentee list. It's actually your admission list, sorted alphabetically, of course. And it's a huge list. I've given you the first page. On the day of inauguration, it was circulated among all teachers. Maybe like you must have got a copy of this. When I got this as a teacher, I thought, how many of you are having work experience? As you will agree with me, this type of data is perhaps raw data. It's not that handy. I cannot make out easily because it's a vast data. 300 plus MBA students taking admission here. So when I wanted to know how many senior students with work experience are there perhaps in this batch, what I did, I think many of you must be knowing a little bit of Excel commands, and I am pretty sure that some of you are better than me. I use COUNTIF command just to get a table like this. I just wanted to know how many you passed this year 2020 or about to pass, and how many passed in 2019, 18, 17, 16. And I was amazed to find some of you are having very large work experience and you passed way back in 14 and 13 also. So I think you will agree with me, when we refer the earlier long database, that was not easy to handle, and this type of summary table is having more information value. Agreed? The representative should respond. That's why I have selected.
Yes,
you have to respond
Yes,
yes or no,
Yes,
so
sir.
that I can know that. That's why the purpose of selecting the representatives. This table itself is having lot of clarity, lot of information, and we can further beautify by having a better representation, graphical representation like this. We can have a bar diagram, or still better, one can say, why not having a pie chart? Maybe like in the pie chart, I've given numbers. You can also put as percentage, how many belong to the fresh batch, how many are the seniors. So I guess you'll agree with me, this kind of analysis or presentation carries a lot of clarity and better information value than the original raw data set. Now let's take another example. COVID pandemic, the real villain for which we are now separated. You are at home, we are here, and we are not able to have the physical class. We are resorting to online classes here. Now, what I'm just suggesting is, I'm pretty sure many of you must be seeing many related data relating to this corona or COVID pandemic. Now, whenever we see data, some data we can make out, some data we cannot make out easily. Suppose I wanted to know which country is actually the worst affected. Is it something like I should refer always the total number of positive cases? Is it always that I should only refer to the death, or I should go for another analysis like say 4 million positive cases or the fatality rate kind of thing? So that if you have a specific need for a specific information, you need to go for that kind of processing. Say for example, as I belong to Odisha state, if I wanted to know which part of Odisha is most affected, I think this is one of the latest data. Those who belong to Odisha may have the knowledge on this picture, and others, for their benefit, let me tell you. And this district, Ganjam district, at present is the worst affected, and now the capital city, which belong to Khordha district, is the next worst kind of thing. Now I think all of you will agree that this kind of information tells better when we are interested to know where things are pretty serious. Particularly, this see the deeper color here. As we move ahead, this shows this worst situation happening here. So this is worst here as compared to other districts here. So the way you represent and analyze, that is the purpose of extracting information from raw data. Now, I would caution you that this extraction or processing may not always involve complicated formula, may not always involve complicated processing kind of thing. Even a single figure can be called as an information. Say, for example, 2 days back, the figure was, in India, the testing capacity was over 9 lakh, and out of which 6% were found to be positive, and out of the positive case, 2% fatalities were there. So this 962, if it carries information, even a single figure can also be information. It's not data, it can also be called. And earlier we just suggested even a small table, what we discussed about the experience of MBA student can also be called information. And of course, today we have got 2 examples to discuss. We'll find that simple statistical formula like averages can help us extracting information from raw data. Okay, so what I'm just like telling in summary, as per the need, as per the specific information, we may need some formula or we may not need any formula. Very simple representation can be of help to get information from data.
Sir, there is a question from one student.
Okay, can you help me and tell me the question?
In the chat box.
So what is the difference between data and information?
Okay. Thank you so much for helping me getting the question. Sorry, I was not marking the chat box, hence I'll be marking the chat box. You need to tell me here. Wait for 2-3 minutes. I guess like you'll be automatically understand the difference between data and information. Just give me 2-3 minutes and allow me to run through 2-3 slides only. Automatically, the slides carries answer to that particular question.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Now, before that, we need to know whenever we are going for information, the person who seeks or needs information, he or she should be very clear what exact information actually I need and why I need that information. Do I really need that information? And once I'm clear what and why, then the how part, how do I get the information from raw data, will be automatically answered by the 2 questions, what and why. I need to be very clear what information I need and why I need the information. Then perhaps I'll be able to get the information by applying some processing or not. Now, let me try initially, partially answering the question that somebody asked. We gave example of the raw data where you have got all details of MBA student, those who got admission. Now that is having lot of information, but a specific information if I wanted to have, what is the percentage of freshers? What is the percentage of girls? Or what is the gender proportion? If that information I have to have, is that data sheet having that information? In the Excel sheet I showed first, having names and details of 300 MBA students, am I getting readily what proportion of boys and girls of presently admitted MBA batch? Is that data sheet carrying?
No.
So for that information, if you need that information, you have to go for a simple head count and go for a pie chart. So that proportion percentage will be called information if we wanted to know about the proportion of boys to girls. Okay, I have partially answered, not fully answered. Just allow me to run through other slides. Automatically that will be answered. Okay. Now, all of you are requested to remember this: what, why, and how. I'll be asking these 3 questions when you are going to discuss the 2 examples towards the end of the slides. Now, we need to know what is the type of information or type of data so far as the requirement, so far as the availability is concerned. And this next slide is on the distinction between first type of classification, quantitative and qualitative variable or data. I'll be giving one example of cockroach and then train ticket reservation. Okay. First one, I'll be trying to discuss about imagine, say for example, Nishita. Hope Nishita won't mind if I just like take Nishita as example. She was studying for exam inside a room. A room was closed. She was alone and she found a cockroach. Okay. Maybe the cockroach on the cupboard kind of thing. Once she found the cockroach, maybe the pulse rate or the heartbeat goes like this. Then the cockroach started flying, maybe closer to Nishita or farther, and see the pulse rate, what happens to Nikita. And finally, oh my God, cockroach landed on Nishita and everything flat here. Can anybody now respond what this graph tells us? Anyone?
Pulse rate. Pulse rate.
So what it is measuring?
Heart rate or pulse rate?
So this is a quantitative data or qualitative data?
Quantitative.
Quantitative.
Okay, good, good. Through this example, it automatically you get an answer. Now next is, I'll be giving one example of a railway booking experience. I'm so sorry that since last 4-5 months, no train running and we don't have any occasion to book train ticket. I'm sure before 6 months, some of you at least must have booked ticket for yourself or your family member. And there is a special feature these days since last 1-2 years. Earlier it was not there with IRCTC website. If a train has got a lot of demand and you find often there is waitlisting situation, there is some information like probability of confirmation coming out. Has anybody by chance found this kind of information?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now my question here is how, just a rough guesswork, I know that we have not discussed anything, how this probability percentage might have been calculated. Any suggestion?
According to earlier years and date and the date.
Very good. Past data, maybe
Previous
like the same
data.
train, all previous days, if you have taken into consideration up to what waiting list number it is getting confirmed. So that proportion, if you are referring the past data and you find a chance kind of thing. Now my question is it carrying any information value? Can this 70% or 60%, 50% be of any use to anybody?
Yes, sir.
How?
So it can decide whether we will have a ticket confirmed or not, the rate probability, whether it will be confirmed or not.
Maybe like you wanted to come from Kolkata to Bhubaneswar and you have got like 2, 3, 10 options. In one train, it is showing 60% chance, another train it is showing 80% chance, another train it is showing 90% chance. So that will help us deciding where higher probability we may book in that train. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So for decision making, this becomes one example of information, whereas waiting list number 68, 70 is example of data. Somebody is asking difference between these. Through examples, I'll be giving so many other examples. Slowly, hope you will be understanding. Just waiting list up to 65, 70, 90, they are just number, data. When I'm getting some percentage of probability, chance factor, whether it will be confirmed or not, it looks like a very useful information as a decision maker who would be traveling, whether by this train or that train, he or she wanted to move to Bhubaneswar. So this helps in decision making. And this kind of calculation is called predictive analysis, which is not guaranteed, which deals with some probability value. And later in the days to come, in the other sessions, I'll be trying to explain other kind of statistical analysis. One is called descriptive analysis. This one is called predictive analysis. Yet another analysis is prescriptive analysis. We'll be discussing later, don't worry. This is not covered today. Okay, here is a picture. I'll be just telling you the background of the picture, and you'll be telling why I have put this picture today on this day one introduction kind of thing. As you can see from the caption, here at KSM, we do have some formal scheduled training session, placement training session, GD sessions, and also beyond the scheduled routine sessions, as mentor, we also conduct informal practice sessions, GD practice, PI practice sessions kind of thing. And they are all your super seniors, those who have just passed, and they are my mentees. So from this, you can like guess that a lot of activities happen in KSM, though they are informal. This is just a mock session kind of thing conducted by me, and this is just a practice session. Now, in any case, can anybody suggest like why I have put this picture? Any random guess like why I have given this picture while I'm discussing something about data? Any random guess, wild guess?
Sir, I think it's all about collecting data, sir. So data are collected, I mean, views of different persons.
Okay.
So
let me, yeah.
Information.
One more.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I think you want to give us the information that what happens in KSOM, how students are involved in different activities and all.
Okay. Sorry, like let me give you some hints. Hint number one. My question, what I was asking, can you find any data from the picture? That's what the hint number one. Okay, wait. What is the data? Like that's what, like we are discussing about data versus information. So don't forget that. So I think at least I will not waste your time. I know that your time is more valuable than my time. So now the second hint here is, hope you can read here. Now, can you read the second line?
Yes, sir.
Read it out. Manisha.
Do you have any
need for evaluation?
No, can anybody feel what is my role here? What is my role here?
Moderator.
Moderator?
The panel.
Am I not playing the role of a potential recruiter? I give them a topic. I leave them to their fate. I'm just watching from a distance. And finally, at the conclusion, I'll be telling who has done well, who has not done well, and what should be done. So this is how, if a recruiter comes and gives you a topic for GD, that will be the basis of selection. And my dear friend, I guess you know that recruiter will not be generous. Recruiter will not be very kind enough. He or she will be very harsh enough. He may not select anybody also, or may select 1, 2, or 3 only. So he or she will be selecting only the best performer. Are you getting my point? So I will be concluding as a mock recruiter, role played for a recruiter, who has done well. If I am to select 2, which 2 will be selected? Is that okay? Now indirectly I have used the term performance. Am I actually supposed to observe and measure the performance? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the performance, can it be measured?
Yes, sir.
Performance is a qualitative variable or quantitative variable?
Qualitative.
Qualitative.
Wow. So the purpose of giving this picture was to explain that there may be some need, there may be some situation where you, even yourself, you have to decide, deal with some qualitative data for your own decision making. Say, for example, you become a senior executive or senior officer in one organization, and you may be studying the loyalty aspect of your subordinates. Who is more loyal, kind of thing. So the loyalty is a qualitative variable, like beauty contest. So there are so many cases where you have to deal with some qualitative data. And quality data can also be measured by some way or other, right? So this is what I wanted to show through this picture. Next, I guess like most of you, those who have completed your degree from some tech-savvy campus like KIT, must be aware. Those who have already done some job must have used this biometric machine. And those who have not done any program from KIT, let me tell you, had it been a normal situation, physical mode, for every class, every day, we'll be taking your biometric attendance inside the class, inside the hostel also. So your entry time to the class will be recorded by biometric machine. Similarly, in any organization, as we enter the office, biometric machine records the data of entry and exit of the persons. Okay. Now this total data sheet is finally supplied by the IT cell to the HR department. Okay. So the HR department, are they collecting data or it is being reported to them?
Reported to
Reported.
Are you now getting the example? Are you now
Yes.
getting the example of reported data?
Yes, sir.
So there is a system at place. Every month, HR department will be getting this kind of data sheet. Okay. Similarly, any retail shop, big bazaar or whatever, you have got some floor manager and billing desk. End of the day, some consolidated report will be supplied to the shop manager. Say, for example, a particular product, how many units have been sold? Say toothpaste, or say maybe like other oil, whatever, soap kind of thing. Suppose you usually stock 200 toothpaste. Today, 140 toothpaste tubes have been sold. So end of the day, you need to requisition and place order for tomorrow morning, how many fresh stocks should be arriving to you. So you take a decision how many items are sold item-wise, and you get a reported data. The floor operators or the billing desk persons are reporting to you as you are the head of the retail unit. Okay. So sometimes you get the reported data. Now, yes, I'll be giving one example of this biometric data. Say, for example, for today's class. Okay. Maybe like we are interacting for the first time. Naturally, if you are in my position also, as we are yet to know each other, I'll be really observing you for a few weeks. Who is sincere, who is irregular, who is regularly irregular. Okay. So I'll be observing who student is actually very sincere or not. Say, for example, I'll be using the HR data or your entry time data, and say, for example, my class first period is at 9:30 a.m. Okay. Please all of you mark carefully this graph. X-axis, day 1, day 2, day 3, day last kind of thing. So I'm observing for a month what time you have entered my class. My class starts at 9:30 a.m. Maybe I open or wait from maybe like 9:20 and I can maybe like have patience. I can tolerate you up to maybe like 9:35 or 9:40. So hope you understand between two limits. Okay. So if these are the two limits and this expected time is 9:30 class starts. So this is what the x-axis is all about. Now Anirban, can I trouble you Anirban? Or Manisha or any other volunteer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Imagine we are plotting Monisha Swine's entry time graphically. Just hypothetical data for 1 month. Okay, day 1, day 2. Maybe like some time she entered class at 9:25. Some other day she entered dot at 9:30. Some other day 9:25. Some hypothetical data. If you plot it in a graph, how it may look like. Just take a trial, okay? Don't take much time. I'll be happy if some of you can show me in your notebook. Just show it to your camera and don't take much time. Complete it within 20 seconds. Can you show it to me how the graph may look like? A person's entry time, if it is shown in graph, anyone?
Sir.
Wow, thank you, Manisha. I'm so happy. Close it. Anybody else? Second person? Anyone? There is no anyone? All of you are sleeping? Okay. Swagat Krishna, Anirban Banerjee, and Pritish. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Rest maybe showing later. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Now please see. Say for example, I have taken randomly few names and I am using photo of Abhimanyu. He was my former mentee. There is a lot of change last evening. There was a lot of confusion you must have had. Now say for example, this is for Asutosh and the graph as shown correctly by you like this. Okay. Now my question to you, not only to my representatives, others, please participate in my class. Now what is your impression? What is your conclusion on Asutosh's graph? Should I be happy? I think I should be happy. Anirban?
Yes, sir.
No idea.
But
He's both irregular and regular sometimes.
yes, sir. Both regular and irregular.
No, I think I should be happy or not, Subha says.
Greatly happy.
Why I should be happy?
So
No,
partly,
because it was
he's not
partly
happy, sir.
happy.
Partly
What,
happy.
what is the meaning of partly happy? So if you are
Yes, sir, means
if you
because
are
if he
if you are joining one organization, you can join in like in your own will and pleasure kind of thing. Sometime like here, sometime here kind of thing. Is it
no,
decent? Is it expected?
no, sir.
No, sir.
So what I expected from you, why I should be happy? I should not be happy. If class starts at 9:30, the expectation is all should be on time, latest by 9:30. So if like this, very clear decision, no, I should not be happy. Okay?
Yes.
Say for example, next is IUC.
The office checking, sir.
IUC, I think I should be happy.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Before
Next, say for example, I've just taken random names, Anjali kind of thing. I should also be happy, Vedant.
no, sir.
Just throw
No,
out
sir.
Not at all, sir.
So now you are smarter, Devasis kind of thing. Okay. Now, Anjali, I think based on the hypothetical data, she is regularly irregular. Okay. This is what I just wanted to say. Now think of like, just like hypothetical data. I'm sorry, like earlier Abhimanyu was my mentee. So without his permission, I had taken photograph from his WhatsApp DP. So I have used his photo, Abhimanyu kind of thing. Hope you understand what should be the conclusion impression. He was like the predecessor. He was actually very, very irregular, regularly irregular, except one day. The day he came to know that Subhuti sir is going to conduct a surprise quiz, that day he came early in the morning, he opened the classroom lock. He perhaps cleaned all table and chair. He waited for all of you and he just wanted to know what Subhuti sir has taught and he wanted to take your help. Only for that day, he was extra sincere. He came here and usually he comes late. So this is his normal tendency and this one is abnormal case. So what I'm just indirectly presenting you this through this case, when you are observing this abnormality in any data, you have to be very careful. This type of data should not be considered. This is not part of normal. And we call it in statistical term, all of you may note it down, is called outlier. Extreme values, very unacceptable value is called outlier. I can give one more example of outlier. Say, for example, we wanted to know how farmers live in villages, particularly their income. We are making a socio-economic survey of a village, their average income of a small village we are doing. Say, for example, there are 100 families dependent on agricultural cultivation. Their average income is between like 5,000 to 10,000 per month, say for example, or less than that. But one family is the Jamidar family. That family alone is super rich family whose income per month is more than 20 lakh. Other families hardly 5,000-6,000 rupees and one family is 20 lakh plus per month. So when you are taking the real picture of that village, I think that Jamindar's case should be discarded. If you are taking this, it will inflate, it is going to give a wrong picture. And if you just discard, I think the rest should give the actual picture of that village, how the people of that village live. So those are called examples of outliers. We'll be discussing later. I'm so sorry to show you what actually in the physical mode statistics class happened. As you can see, your super seniors, those who just passed this year, lot of activities happen in my statistics class, and as you can see from face of each and every student how deeply engrossed they are, and a lot of exercise we do in statistics, a lot of fun happens here. You can have a check actually. This is actually unnoticed photograph, and you can mark like how deeply they are engrossed. I'm so sorry that because of this pandemic, we are doing it online, but together you and me will try how best we can do this. And we are pretty sure next semester at least we'll be back, we'll be together, and we can do some practicals like this. Now, I'll take another 15 minutes to give you some more examples how and where statistics is applied. And I'll be giving one example from every field. I'll start from sporting activities or sports where statistics is used. I'll be giving some examples of any cases, say maybe like Rahul century versus England or Suresh Raina's century way back in 15. Now, when you are having some deeper analysis, deeper look how the batsman has performed. Now, my question to you is, do you feel this kind of statistical analysis of batsman will be of any help to anybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like?
So maybe
like
the opponents will know
batting-
like what's the strongest area or something.
Very good, very good.
Opposition and the
Very
weak, the coach will work on the weakest area of the batsman.
Very good. Both opposition And that team coach also will take like where one is strong, where like one should better take care more, the kind of thing. So unless we analyze the past record data like this, we cannot actually help ourselves or decide kind of thing, okay? And I will not take much time. You must have seen a lot of statistical analysis happening in cricket field. And just to show you that huge amount of scope for statistics students to get even full-time job also in sporting activities here. And just to show you that the sports like cricket actually helps making statistics plans, and in turn, statistics as a subject also added a lot of fun to the sports called cricket. I'm pretty sure many of you, those who are fond of cricket, must have heard of this term, house jack. But I don't know whether any of you have checked some websites like dedicated statistical website in cricketing sports, like housestat.com. So my purpose of telling, there are a lot of statistical activities happening in sports field, be it cricket, be it football. Even there are post jobs of statisticians, scorers or record keeper kind of thing, who must be having some knowledge of statistics, okay? Now let's come back to our own field of management and different specialization within the management. Let's start with marketing. I guess like many of you must have heard of marketing analytics, marketing research, where a lot of activities happen and you need to use particularly statistical values. I'll be giving one example, like a perception mapping, how this will be of help to marketing strategists for some products, like say for example, we'll be taking a small car segment. Here for our discussion, let's take two indicators, two parameters, two dimensions. One, in the small car segment, how good or how bad is the service of that company, and how good or how bad is the spare parts availability. One angle service facility, one angle spare part availability. So here it becomes a two-dimensional space. Now taking the score from perception of the consumers or customers, if you plot, if you try to imagine where the companies will be located, I think you must know this is called the positive quadrant, first quadrant. And if in case a product comes here, one should be concerned this is not good. And say for example, we all know that in small car segment, the lion's share goes to Maruti, maybe because of better service, maybe because of better spare part availability. And we can similarly find out by asking the users, customers, where we are not happy and where spare part availability or service is poor. So once you know that your company product is here, you will be in a position to take corrective measures. This is how it will be helping, and this is called perception map. Now I'm sure many of you, particularly those who belong to humanities, must have thought that in second year, they may opt for HRM as specialization. And one of the reason could be, not only reason, one of the reason could be, here is a soft area where you don't require actually math or stat kind of thing, easy going kind of thing. But I'll be just for the benefit of those who are opting or planning to opt only for that reason, I can suggest, yes, go for HR, but if you really love statistics and can apply statistics in HR, it will be really a great fun. What I'm just trying to suggest, in HR also, a lot of statistics is applied nowadays, and you might have heard of HR analytics. And I'll be giving you some research activities like this, where some serious statistical analysis people have done, one of such paper is those who have found, taking the primary data, how elevation help employees becoming more caring, more helpful. Somebody, as you can see, I have deliberately made it red here. Two attributes, they are associated. Elevation or height indirectly means if employees get timely promotion, then they become happy, and in turn, they become more caring and they take care of the subordinates. This is what the important finding somebody has done. Now coming to finance and more particularly stock market, where actually huge amount of statistics applied. And I propose to take a special class on stock market fundamentals, those who are not having idea on stock market. Today I'll be very brief on stock market application because of shortage paucity of time. My purpose objective is to just tell you how statistics is applied in this particular specialization. I'll be citing example of 2 years back when the stock market got crashed because of some scam, and many public sector bank got hit and their share prices really plummeted like anything. One of such public sector bank was Punjab National Bank. Maybe some of you might have noticed or remember. Very recently, 2 years back it happened. And I, as a researcher also, I was observing the share price. Those days, if somebody wanted to be investment manager, if you want to join companies like Carvey or any other stock broking firm, you need to understand how statistics is used to make predictions. Maybe like you need to study the share price very minutely. Maybe like you observe monthly data. This is what the last 1 month data of PNB, and this is what the last 1 year, and maybe like still higher last 5 years kind of thing. When you look to the long run price behavior of a stock market share price, then you will be in a position what may happen in near future and in the long run. So that will help us in making a prediction. I'll be showing you some two important terms, concepts. Those who are interested, just note down today only the terms, and some other time we'll be elaborating this. There are two terms called bullish sentiment and bearish sentiment. If in stock market, the mood is upbeat, share prices are increasing, at least in the short run. So that trend is called bullish trend. It is coined from the term bull. And just opposite, if the market sentiment is bad, like when coronavirus affected entire world, those who are from commerce background, those who have some stock market investment for their family, may please remember, during March, April, stock market of every country crashed like anything, and share price actually fell. Now it has stabilized. Now, if continuously it is falling and falling like this, then this is called a bearish trend or negative trend. Now, these two slides are hypothetical data, and this I'm just showing you the actual data of a day. Those who have got little idea, in India, we have got two major stock exchanges. One, Bombay Stock Exchange or BSE, and the other is called National Stock Exchange or NSE. The price movement in those exchanges are best known, best measured by some popular indices. For BSE, we know that is called Sensex. The full form is called Sensitive Index of BSE. And for NSE, that is called Nifty. Nifty stands for NSE 50 Share Index. So this is the price movement of Nifty, and this is for 1 day. Those who know that stock markets operate during 9:30 to 3:30 every working day, Monday to Friday. So here you can see how it is fluctuating. If one is very watchful every minute, every day, Suppose I wanted to buy. I should not buy here. I should buy here. If I want to buy and sell, I should not sell here. I should wait if it is increasing kind of thing. So this is how we take decisions. And that is one interesting way of presenting this data also. We have this simple graph and also another interesting graph called candlestick graph. This I'll be some other day when I'll be taking a full 90-minute session on stock market. I'll be explaining. Please mark the difference. Here only simple share price, price value. Now in this case, we plot both volume, number of shares sold, and also the price at which it is sold. So the height of candle shows the volume. Suppose less number of shares sold here, more number of shares sold here. This is what we will do. Now when you to take very historical price, say maybe for like say 3 years, 4 years, can you make some prediction what is going to happen after 6 months, 1 year? So for prediction, we have some formula which we'll be discussing later. If you take this period, can you make a prediction like this, linear estimation? Or if you take this line kind of thing, it may be like looking like this, but it will not be ideal kind of thing. If you take the entire data, maybe this will be more ideal. So what indirectly I'm hinting today briefly is, before any statistical formula application, we have to be very careful and we have to have logical thinking and we have to apply our logic. Why this, why not that? Okay. So this is what is about the application of statistics in a field called finance or stock market. Now, the last example beyond our management discipline, I can tell you statistics is also used for all scientific research in every field of science. We also conduct here in our school, many funded research projects are taken by faculty members. I have also some funded projects kind of thing where we do some scientific research. Sometime, few years back, I took interest on one observation, which we call in statistics hypothesis, which we call in statistics as proposition or a statistical statement. A statement like this: sleeping affects learning, memory processing, and storage. There is also yet other observation from experts that sleep helps us repair and restore our organ system and balancing various other hormones. If I wanted to do some research, if I wanted to verify, how do I measure this? How do I verify? Now, from now onwards, can I request you all to switch on your video mode so that we can interact all? Hope all of you are awake. No,
Yes, sir.
okay. Now, Shakti Saurabh Sahu and Anjali Agarwal. Just a random check, don't get scared kind of thing. What is my question? Can you quote my last sentence? Just to check whether you are with me or not.
So you were saying about the research that scientists have performed about the sleeping experiences that a person gets.
Okay, next, to be specific, anything else you want to supplement, Anjali? Unmute.
So you said that about the scientists who were some experts who said that sleeping is
Okay.
helps
To
us
be more specific, anybody who volunteer, what exactly I had the last sentence, what I just wanted to do. Ritu or maybe like Monish Patel, if I can trouble
Sir,
you.
how
come
you
to-
will measure? Sir, how you will
Right.
measure? Who said that?
Who told that?
How you will measure?
Wow, who told that?
Sir, I
I'll tell your name now.
Anjali, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So this is what like how carefully, attentively you are listening to me. My last sentence was, if you are interested to make a study, you have to measure sleep. whether somebody had a sound sleep or a disturbed sleep or not. If we are getting a disturbed sleep, is it going to affect tomorrow? Okay, whether we are working or whether we are a student. Suppose we could not sleep last night. Perhaps that is going to affect us. So if I want to make a scientific study, I have to first measure the quality of sleep we had, first indicator, first parameter. Next, what is your performance next day? Are you getting a point? I'm relating two factors. One, sleep quality. Second, our work performance next day. Okay. So if I want to take up a research project on this, I have to think, how do I measure the sleep quality? I'll be relating whether they're related or not. You may find some exceptional person, somebody not sleeping, also very, very active next day also. You can find also exceptions also. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Annesa
They
Dixit.
are outliers.
Annesa Dixit. Unmute.
Yes, sir.
So what is the first indicator, parameter or variable? I'll be calling it variable. What is the first parameter?
Sorry, sir.
What is to be measured? What is the first indicator or variable?
So the sleep
Sleep quality. Sleep quality. Swarupa Mahapatra. Can you hear me? Swarupa Mahapatra,
Yes,
and then
sir.
follow me Roy in that order. So what is the first variable? Is it a quantitative variable or qualitative variable, and why? Swarupa, then follow me.
Qualitative
variable, sir.
Follow me.
Qualitative variable, sir.
Thank you. I just wanted to have a cross check whether you are listening to me or you have gone for sleep. So when I'm doing research on sleep, you wanted to do practical on sleep and you are going for sleep. So I think you agree. Like you, when I thought of doing research on this, I also thought that sleep has to be necessarily a qualitative variable. My dear friend, let me tell you, if there is a choice, if there is one option, if I have option of getting qualitative variable and quantitative variable, hope you will agree with me, quantitative data is better for analysis than qualitative data. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
I was also not knowing how to quantify the quality sleep till my colleague, who is your program chairperson, Professor Ashok sir, he showed me, I think there is one instrument, I think young friends, some of you must be having, Fitbit kind of thing. And if you are using that app kind of thing, and if you are wearing that, and it exactly measures how many hours, minutes you slept, whether you slept well or not, deep sleep, red eye, disturbed kind of thing. So it is measuring. Then I told, wow, when there is mechanism, when there is instrument which can perhaps measure to great extent precision, it can be quantified, why not resorting to quantification? So in this example, through this example, I'm just telling, we have to explore, is it only necessarily will be only qualitative, or is there an option I can convert perhaps to quantification? If we get any chance to quantify, quantitative data should be preferred to qualitative data. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, having told this, I can take a break of 1 minute. I think somebody had asked the first question, what is the difference between data and information? Have I indirectly clarified that? The person who had asked, indirectly through so many examples?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The little bit is great enough. Okay, that answer little bit is very good. And I'll be taking another 5 minutes, then we'll go to the case discussion. Case discussion, all of you should participate very actively because you have to submit today itself as your assignment. Now, once we understand that we need information for decision making, then we need to know the information may vary according to the types of decision. So we have got classification of information like classification of decision. We'll be quickly running through few slides here. Maybe we can repeat later. We have got three types of decisions at 3 levels. First, at the base level, routine decisions or transactional decision, for which we need transactional information. Next level, bit higher, is called tactical decision, middle level managers, for which we need tactical information. And the highest level, top management, we need strategic information for strategic decisions. To relate these 3 types of decisions and information, the best thing is to use the information pyramid like this. Don't look at the right side example. I'll be giving very real life example close to our own academics. Later, you can refer the example given in this slide. Say, for example, as you can guess, at the base level, as you can see the area, perhaps we need lot of data here, still less data here, still less data here, and finer, very less data here. I'll be explaining better in this particular related information parameter. This is at base level, transactional level, or operation level. So like say, for example, program office of a B school. As I started today, program office keeps record all minute detail. Your attendance in every paper, every day, your marks in every paper, every component, quiz, mid-sem kind of thing. Lot of payment details, everything. Lot of files maintained by program office. So as you can guess, the area of this bottom of pyramid is a huge data. The amount of data they handle is really huge here. Bit above, say for example, a program chairperson or director of a school, he or she may not be bothered about the how many students actually who joined late or kind of thing. That minor detail may not be required, but he or she may be required how many people have really done well, the best 10 or best 3 kind of thing, or some other cream data, okay? Or say for example, strategic management, I'll be giving one more example from banking sector. Every branch will have some tellers, counters, where people come to deposit, people come to withdraw money. So I think you'll agree with me, there has to be some record, how much of amount deposited every day, how much of money disbursed that day, and that should be recorded. I think this is very important. Subhasis? Subhasis?
Yes, sir.
So this type of data should also be noted carefully every day at higher levels. Anirban?
Yes, sir.
Anirban?
Yes, sir.
What yes, sir? I want answer, not yes, sir. Manisha, what was my question? Not listening, not participating. I suggested daily transactional data in a bank branch. This is important. This should be recorded very carefully. My second sentence or the last sentence was, this is very important. Every minor detail should also be used, referred daily by the top management. Yes or no?
Yes,
Not getting, not clear.
No, sir. No, sir. Should not
Those
be
who are
recorded.
telling yes, sir, don't be so obedient student. Okay, don't say yes, sir always. I'm just trying to understand whether you are listening, understanding or not. See, base level minute transactional data, why a zonal manager of Odisha or Bhubaneswar should be bothered? He or she will not having time to go to that detail. Okay, so in banking example, routine transactional data will be kept at branch level. Say for example, NPA, non-performing assets kind of thing. It is not a daily activity. It could be like say monthly reporting kind of thing, which will be like bit higher up kind of thing. Okay. Now, say for example, whether or not to open a branch, opening a new branch, it is not done daily. It's not a daily routine transaction. So before taking a decision whether there is a need to open one more branch in KIT campus, it is not a routine decision, so it will be taken here or here, okay, higher up. So that type of decision will be dependent on the market demand, and that information will be very less, okay. Now, having said this, detailed discussion on data and information, and having explained that for information we may use some statistical technique, we have to understand that every formula may not be applied every time. So choosing appropriate statistical technique is actually critical, is actually the key, okay. Now, those who are from humanities background, let me tell you, in statistics, and particularly in my class, we may not use much math or higher statistics actually. And you'll be happy that a lot of statistics books written without any math. And I will also make sure each of my class will be a lot of fun, and all of you will enjoy the statistics, and particularly the applied statistics. Okay. With this, I guess like I'll be now requesting all to switch on the video mode, and we have got 2 cases to discuss today in detail. As you might have guessed, this is actually the assignment you have to answer today itself. I'll be separately giving you a Google form link. In that Google form link, you have to enter the answer. Those who are finding it comfortable in Google form link, you can do that. I will prefer that. In case by chance somebody finding difficulty, you can just simply solve it in your notebook, take a photo and send it as attachment to my mail ID. That is also allowed, okay. As this is the first assignment, we'll be making a detailed discussion so that all of you are comfortable how to answer this, and next assignment you will be doing it yourself. I would request you, because I'll be stopping the slide share here, just note down the question which I had shared here. The first data is about what? Manisha, what is this number 2635? I think it is temperature of Bhubaneswar.
Sir, it's the age group of buyers.
Wow, so you are awake. Thank you so much. So this is age of different buyers as recorded by one retail unit, Sony Music World. Okay, so please remember this, and please remember the last sentence of this question. That's what we have to decide. Okay, now let me take you to second question, and just remember this, and I'll close this because I want to interact with all of you. And now all of you requested to please switch on your video.
Sir, what is the deadline of submitting the assignment?
Why you are worried about deadline? We have not started giving you the question. Wait till we discuss. Don't worry, okay? How much deadline you want? 5 minutes? 1 hour? 5 hours? Okay, don't worry. It is flexi timing, don't worry. Okay. We'll help you. Now let's try to appreciate the example, that will be better, okay? Now question number 1. I'll ask randomly all of you so that you are really involved that, and all of you.
So someone is asking in the chat box, please repeat the question.
Okay, I will not repeat. All of you should help him or her to discuss. Okay, I got the chat box question. Thank you so much for prompting. Neha, Swagat, Varsha, why you are so angry? Why you are not keeping video on? You are there or left class?
Sir, I am there.
Oh, sir, I am here.
Swagat.
Neha hota. Wow. Mute. Mute. Okay. Maybe like network problem. Okay. Now coming to question number 1, I think I understand that some of you might have missed it. That was supplied earlier, and that was also shown you for 5 minutes. All of you mute so that there is no disturbance. Only when I am asking you, you unmute and tell. Maybe like randomly, I'll be trying, if I'm permitted, Biplov and Swagata Bastia. Am I correctly uttering your name? Biplov and Swagata Bastia. Can you help us, help your friends, what the question number 1 all about? Swagata first and Biplov next.
Sorry, sir, I was disconnected for a while, sir, due to network issues.
Okay, that's the best answer. Soham Raut and Jyoti Kumari next.
Sir, it was about 30 buyers.
Of?
30 buyers of video recorders from Sony Retails.
Wow. Jyoti, would you like to supplement something?
Sir, it was about age
Okay.
group.
Fantastic. 30 buyers. Saurajit, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Saurajit Babu,
Yes.
just tell us why that question, what we wanted to do that in that question part.
So the retail organization was trying to see that which group is more interested in their product.
Wow, great. Akash Jaiswal, so why?
Yes, sir.
You understand what is the meaning of so? That means you have to continue what your predecessor told. When I told so what?
So, sir, Sony video recorder is being bought by 30 buyers whose age has been given.
Arey dear, आगे बढ़ना. You are still at Bhubaneswar. Arey dear, you आगे बोलना. So means your friend has suggested. Meenakshi, can I trouble you, Meenakshi?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, what is the meaning of so? SO, not SHOW.
Yes, sir. It had asked that who buys it frequently. It wanted to know that.
Wow.
Who
I
are
think
frequent buyers.
you told correct answer. I don't know whether all of you rest have understood properly or not. Trupti Tripathi, can I trouble you? Can you just like correlate the last 2 speakers, what we have understood, what they have told us on the case number 1? Quick. Trupti on mute. Then Manvi. Trupti, save time please.
Yes, sir. It's about 30 buyers of Sony Music.
No, I asked, please recall what last 2 speakers told and can you relate what they told? Can you summarize? Manvi, can you help us? Unmute. Okay, I think there is some network issue. Avijit, quick, hurry up. Jaldi bol.
Yes, so the last 2 speakers told about that how many age group people of 30 quantity do like the Sony music videos.
My question was indirectly, actually, do you think that this type of discussion, analysis data, will it be of any help to anybody? That's what I asked when I asked so what? So means so what? So this like, will it be of any use to anybody?
Yes, sir. It will be helpful for both customers and the company also.
It will be helpful for customers?
Yes, sir. They will come to know what kind of music CDs or products that the company are producing for them. And the company would come to know that what age group of people are there that...
Can I ask you, who are you in this case?
So I can be a customer.
Why you will be doing a lot of head breaking for this? Should customer do analysis like this?
No, sir.
No, sir, it's
Only
not
company.
important for customers, but yeah, they can do a research so that they can get a data.
Customer will do research first, or somebody else will do research first? Susmita Patra, can you join the discussion? Susmita Patra,
Yes, sir.
quick. Please save time. We have a lot of work to do.
Yes, sir. Sir, it will be helpful for the retailers to know which age group of people are interested in the.
I think that is better. Why? To be specific, so that
they know their customer target.
Customer target
Means
or
age
their
group.
taste and preference, or you can customize the
Yes, sir.
product.
Yes,
The
sir.
desire about the product.
Yeah, so the
Segmentation.
customization can happen. If you understand who are your customers, you know the customer taste and preference. Accordingly, you can target, you can customize for us. Okay, what is the preference, how they actually want. Okay, so that would be better, right? Now coming straight to the question portion, that is the last sentence of that case. What are the question portion? Coming down to solution, what should we do? Any volunteer? Please be quick.
We should make a graph
We should.
of age group.
Directly you'll be making graph.
So just divide them into.
You will categorize the age groups.
So we'll make a
Creating a
service
strong-
and the total number of people.
Listen.
So
You should have a random guess. When Sir is presenting the example number 1, in session number 1, you should have a rough guess. If you refer any statistics book, what should be or what is the chapter 1 of any statistics book? Subhasis, be quick.
Mean.
First chapter is average, mean.
Obviously, definitions.
Introduction to
Introduction
statistics.
definitions.
Frequency, classification,
Grouping.
tabulation. Okay, so you should remember this question should be from chapter 1, where perhaps we have to have a frequency table. If you remember, I started my presentation by number of students of each batch. I gave a frequency table. Got my point? So here you have to make a frequency table and see what is the highest frequency. That age group, you have to decide as the answer. So coming to answering this question, as simple as this, make a frequency table and find out which class has got highest frequency. Is that fine? I'll be showing you some hints on this question number 1 because we are running out of time. We'll be completing another 5-6 minutes. Can we move to question number 2? Who can quickly, very quickly save time, volunteer? What the question number 2 is all about? Those who have not participated, please participate.
About the area sales manager of Maruti.
Thank you, Bipul, so much for starting very well. Who are you?
Sir, myself Bipul.
Bipul, everybody knows that you are Bipul. Why I am asking? You are, who are you in this case? So please remember, every class,
Sales manager.
this will be my common question. Whenever I'm asking who are you, I'm not asking people. Who are you, the decision maker in that case? Okay. So can you answer Swagat Bastia? Who are you in this case? Unmute Swagat. Swagata. Can you be quick, please? No. Shakti Saurav or Subhasis, either one of you.
Sir, sorry, sir. Actually, I don't remember the question like particularly.
Okay. Question, Shakti Saurav, you remember question?
Yes, sir, I remember the question, sir, but partly I just remember it.
Yeah, just quickly tell within 2 sentences what the question is all about.
So it was regarding the sales executive of Maruti Suzuki and
Okay, who can tell very confidently about the question, what the question is all about? Apurva, can you give a try, Apurva?
Sir, I wasn't able to see the question
Okay,
because
okay.
of the network.
Anybody, any volunteer?
So the
Sir,
sales
can
record
I
of
try?
10 sales
Manisha taking over. Manisha taking over. Yeah,
So the
Manisha.
sales record of 10 sales executive has been given for the last 4 weeks, and I am the area sales manager. And we
Wow,
have
I think
to
that's it. That's
create-
it. It's about the Maruti Nexa, and you are the area sales manager of the region. Under you, many sales executives are reporting to you. Okay? Executive 1, Executive 2, Executive 3, that table is given. Just to make it short, brief, I have given perhaps 10 executives. Is it 10 executives? Can anybody
Yes,
correct
sir.
me?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir,
Yes, sir.
So now coming to the decision making. Saurajit, can I trouble you, dear? Saurajit and Akash Jaiswal.
Yes, sir.
Who are you?
Yes, sir. Yes, Saurajit.
You are Saurajit. Who told you
That
Saurajit?
means I am the area sales manager. I am reviewing the sales
Yes,
of the
that is a better
different
answer.
executives.
That is a better answer. You are not Saurajit. You are ASM. So what is your role and responsibility? Gone out. Akash Jaiswal, what is your role
Sir,
and
to
responsibility?
check whether the executive which are under me are doing a better job or not.
So what you will do? Will you give chocolates to them?
No, sir. Maybe give them
No?
appraisal for their work. In
You will
some
not
sense.
give chocolate. You are conscious. Are you going to give a chocolate to me also?
Sir, sir.
No. So what is the role and responsibility of ASM? Manvi, those who are participating, I am observing and recording, and for participation there is mark. Okay, those who are not participating will not get any mark.
Sir, area sales manager wants that more and more cars should be sold.
Okay.
Sir,
So
motivating,
can I add a
training,
I
and
have
the
to identify
performance.
who are performing better,
yes,
who are motivating.
better performer and underperformer. You have to have a look. Okay, and as a concern, as a genuine senior manager, it's not to fire them instantly. You have to check, help them, work with them, what best can be done, like hand holding. You just see, try sincerely if they can improve. If they can improve, fine. Or else you can say like, goodbye dear, nahi ho raha hai to nahi ho raha hai. So it's not the kind of thing. So you have to continuously check and observe. Is that okay? So the question here is, all of you please mute. All of you please mute. Question here is, how do we know who is performing well and who is not? Suggestion.
So the numbers.
So by finding the mean.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm happy that it has now come from you. So the information requirement now we understand. We have devoted so much of time just to understand what exactly we need. If you remember, I had suggested 3 questions. What are the 3 questions?
How, why, and
Very good. What information?
What information, why information, how.
And how. So first during this discussion, I'm trying indirectly to convince you what exact information I need. So I'm so happy that it has come from you, that it is simple average can help us knowing on an average one executive how he or she is performing. So if I take averages, that will be the representative. It will speak on average these many cars he or she is able to sell per week. Okay, 1 week he may be bad, next week he can be good. So individual data should not be taken. Average data is a better representation. Is that okay? Now I am taking you back to that slide. So here, let me discuss first on example 1. This is what, like, we have to decide the age group. This is simply a frequency table. As this is the first assignment, let me give you some hints here. Question number hint, simply you have to put it like in the categories. Maybe like you check which is the lowest age group, highest age group. And this is just indicative. It need not be exactly the same thing. You can have your own classification, own class. You can make it 16 to 20 or like this. Just for example, I have given. Suppose you are making classes here. Then those who know tally sheet, you may use tally sheet. This is optional, or directly you can go for frequency and make a frequency table. Okay, and see that total frequency should add up to 30. Next, those who know what is the meaning of relative frequency can have a extra column of relative frequency. Relative frequency is nothing but individual frequency divided by total frequency. Okay. Now further hints on question number 1. What I'm just trying to suggest, you have to make a table like this. First column compulsory, third column compulsory. This tally sheet column is optional. You may go for this, may not go for this. This is just indicative. You can make changes as per your logic, wisdom. Suppose within 16 to 25 age group, 1 you found, 2 you found, put some tallies here. Or directly you can put it 2, 4, 3. This 2, 4, 3 may not be correct. Just randomly I have put, for example, and this column total should be 30. This is a must. Now how I have calculated relative frequency? This 2 by 30 is relative frequency. This 4 by 30 is relative frequency here. 3 by 30 is relative frequency here. Similarly, you may go for cumulative frequency. Is that okay? So this you have to either make a table or give the answer through the Google form. Now coming to this, my question is, let's have a small debate. If I find column average, listen to me. I'll be happy if one of you, Swagat, Krishna or Priyavat Sahu, can answer, please. What is the meaning difference of column average and row average? What they imply?
Sir, column average says that it's the executive and row average it says the weekly how much the data.
Swagat, anything more you want to add?
Sir, the column average is showing employee executive 1
average performance of each employee. Okay, column average means average performance of each employee. Whereas row average will be on an average entire branch, entire company, say Bhubaneswar area, on an average per week, how much we are selling on an average for executive kind of thing. So this is for the entire branch or town kind of thing. Okay. Now I think you all of you know, if I find, listen to me carefully, last 2 sentences, average of column averages and average of row averages. Repeat. The grand average by taking either average of column averages or average of row averages. I think that will match. That will be same. No. So, no. Why no? Why no? That will match, man. Array, you first find all column average. Okay. Then you find the grand average, average of averages. Whatever will be getting, it will be exactly same if you find the average of rows and grand average.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that grand average as ASM, you can set as a benchmark. Okay. I would have expected this answer from you because of shortage of time. I'm answering you. Suppose by chance the grand average comes to 10. Suppose. So you can tell your employees, look, it is possible to do like on an average 10 sales per week. If others can do, why can't you? Okay. So that is possible. You can do that, right? So this will be a benchmark set by you as ASM. You can do that. Now coming to the question part. What is the question?
Who are underperformer?
Who are underperformer or average performer?
How do I find?
Who are below the
By
benchmark?
seeing,
So who,
yeah,
those who are
below
will
the
be
average.
above 10
You
will be
find
higher.
you find the grand average. You find the grand average. Person having average below grand average are underperformer. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
Thank you. So I'm just within 2 minutes sending you the link of the Google form. Whenever comfortable, today itself, assignment should be submitted today. It will take only 2-3 minutes because we have already discussed the question. Okay. So you can please submit by end of the day. I'll be happy. And those who are finding difficulty in submitting the slide or Google form, they can simply write it in pen and paper and submit it as attachment